So day 4, WBC.
Yes.
The most anticipated day of the
for
con?
us, absolutely.
I think, right?
Yeah, definitely for us, for sure.
So it's auction day. So got up early today, had a good breakfast, and the place was just empty.
Yeah, it
just
was awesome.
There were like 4 people in the entire restaurant because we got there so early. Then after that, got in line for the auction store. So the
Yes.
auction store is separate from the auction, but this in the same room. So the auction store, how this works is, I don't know, there's a couple thousand games out on in this huge ballroom, which is normally the part of the tournament area, and there's all these round tables, and it's all cordoned off, and they were setting it up the day before and everything. And what it is at 9 o'clock, they open the gate, so to speak. They let everybody in, and then that is the highest price, which is a maximum of $30 per game that's in the store. Now, obviously, some people are real proud of their games.
Of course.
And there's a lot of junk.
Yes,
I mean,
for
there's a lot
$30.
yeah, seriously. Now, not everything is priced at $30, but yeah. So anyway, that goes from 9 to 11. Then about quarter to 11, they kick everybody out of the store, and then it drops down to the secondary price. And then at 11 o'clock, they open the doors back up and let everybody go back over. And if the stuff that you wanted but didn't want to pay the high price at, maybe people have dropped the price to the middle price. Then that goes until 12:45, kick everybody out, and then the final rock bottom price. Now, some people on some of their games had 30. And then there were others that were like 25, 15, 3.
Yeah.
And
like crazy low.
Yeah, and so you have to, you're running the risk if you're trying to get bargain basement prices and everything. But that was a really cool thing that I've never seen at any other convention or anything like that.
We were about 4th in line, I think, and we got there about an hour and a half before
it opened. Yeah, we got there about 7:30 for a 9 o'clock open.
And they had like a serpentine line going of you sat in these chairs, and this gentleman walked up. It opened at 9, and he walked up about 8:50 and asked.
Had this big smile on his face, like, "All right, where do we go for the?"
He was so excited, like, "Where do we go for the store?" And the lady was like, "The line is all of the chairs, and it's at about the 6th or 7th row now." And he just crestfallen, like he had no clue that he should have been there an hour prior. He thought being 10 minutes early would have been aces.
I felt bad for him, but it was also pretty funny to see, I ain't gonna lie. So we got there, and I'll be honest, the best get that I saw anybody have was at 9 o'clock. One guy found a copy of Metropolis or Metropolis or whatever for $10.
That's awesome.
That was the highest price. Obviously, that was priced to move.
Yes.
And it did move.
And it moved.
So then at 10 o'clock, the actual auction started up. And now they release all the lots ahead of time, meaning, okay, so lot number 292 is going to be game X, right? And there were, I want to say like 650 or so lots this year, which is about 100 more than they said last year. Long story short, the auction went until 4:30, but right at just before 11, the auction shut down so people could go do the auction store, and then just before 1, the auction shut down again for about 20 minutes so people could go pick over the store.
Which is nice because it makes you feel like you can go do the other thing because you're not going to miss something that's being auctioned off because you're in the store.
Yep. And the auction was just a blast. It was you, me, Carmen, Joe, sort of.
For a little while.
Sherpa Joe, sorry.
That is his newly coined name.
Because you're not allowed to carry your bags in or whatever into the auction store. So he volunteered to Sherpa if we would go and get him a copy of what was it? It was
Union Pacific, but one of the workers grabbed it before the auction store even opened.
And so there was something else that he wanted. It was
Santa Fe Rails.
Right, that Jim got for him.
Jim got for him, yep.
And so then Jim was there at the auction. Carmen's buddy Lou was there. Some other folks. It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun.
It was an absolute it's the highlight of every convention whenever we go to a convention for me, as far as the actual things. Now, obviously, it's all about the people.
Well,
Always is.
But the thing that we always look forward to is the auction. And that's one of the main things I'm so jealous about, that you get to go to Gen Con and I don't, is the auction that lasts all of Gen Con.
Yeah, I must spend a ridiculous amount of time there. I have a feeling.
Jealous.
And it's not all about buying games and everything. It's just
seeing
about
cool
being
stuff.
in the environment and seeing, wow, I've never heard of that.
Right.
Or, wow, I've never seen a copy of that
Right.
in person.
Right.
And all this. And we were fortunate enough to get some really good deals on some things. Early on, the prices were just staggering. Like, you can buy stuff new online cheaper than what these used copies were going for.
Yeah, people were buying stuff for like, you could get it $15 on Amazon and they were spending $30, $40, $50. And
it was pretty outrageous.
Yeah.
But people get caught up, or they don't want to go through the hassle of ordering it, or whatever their reasons are. This is just something that we thoroughly enjoy and wait for deals.
Oh yeah, we had our notebook out and
had the things that we were going to bid on, and Carmen had offered it up to all our patrons on the Slack channel. Hey, here are the lots. If you want anything, say how much you're willing to bid, and he'll put in proxy bids. We had at least one person that was willing to go as much as 200 on a copy of 1862. Unfortunately, it went for just over that, and I talked to the guy afterwards, said, yeah, he was willing to go to about 220.
Well, then you better say that,
right.
No,
I'm saying the guy who actually won the auction.
Oh, okay.
And so it was awesome to see. They had a lot of rare things there. They had 3 different copies of 1829. They had some really obscure but also really high-end war games. It was everything from, run-of-the-mill Euros to esoteric war games to 18XX games to Mushroom Eaters, which is I can't think of Nate Hayden game. That's it. It was awesome to see. So 7.5 hours. The auction went, including the auction store, and we were both pretty worn out after that.
We were. So
Carmen got a bunch of stuff. Jim got a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of stuff.
And Carmen luckily has a little portable hand truck that we're going to be getting one of those, because that was really.
Yeah, 2 boxes worth of games. We were able to just
load it up and go, instead of us having to make trips, or one of us having to carry both boxes. And it was that was so convenient. So did that, and came back up here and got unloaded, and then we went to have some dinner at the buffet.
Yeah,
the same place we ate breakfast at.
Right, which is honestly, this is the first time we've had the buffet for dinner, and it's not like Golden Corral. You just line up and go down the line.
No,
it's
not
just,
at all.
What are those fancy dishes where you flip the lids open?
I don't know, but it's one of those where it stays warm, but you flip the lid up and you get your stuff, and then you flip the lid back down.
So there were a bunch of those, and it was everything from baked chicken to stuffed cabbage rolls to ham to barbecue
fish.
Ribs, and there was stuffed cod, and then there was a really excellent salad bar. There were soups, there were bunches of pastry. So really good quality. So
it was yummy.
The only 2 complaints that we've heard anybody say about anything about this place is the internet is sketchy at best, except in the main
lobby. That's the only
and
place.
Around the restaurants. Those are the 2 only areas where the internet really is strong. And the other thing is the price of the food. But to be honest with you, I think it was like $17, $18 for dinner.
That's normal.
I mean, you're going to spend that if you go out to eat.
You are. I mean, the only way that you can save money at a convention space like this is to have either a microwave in your room or have bread and peanut butter and jelly sandwich fixins. That's literally the only way that you can ever do anything like that at a convention like this, because it's always going to be at a convention center or a hotel. It's always going to be those types of prices.
Or in this case, a mountain resort.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So after a tasty dinner and a nice cup of coffee to finish
Yeah, it
that
was
off,
nice.
overlooking the slopes. So that was cool in the Alpine slide, watching people come down.
Come down fast and then some going really slow.
Yeah, like you could walk faster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the point? Anyway, after that, I headed down to get with Carmen and Lou and hang out and get ready for the Raw tournament, which is actually the third round. I hadn't played in the first two heats. Not third round, but the third heat. And it's been forever since I played Raw, so I asked Carmen if he'd be willing to give me a quick refresher. And there was this lady down there that younger lady that was like, "Hey, you don't have a copy of Raw?" And I was like, "Nah." But as soon as Carmen came down to run me through it, along with his son Eric, this lady was like, "Hey, do you mind showing these two? My friends have never played Raw, but they want to play in the tournament and all this." And I was like, well, this works out because that's about what we're fixing to do.
Right.
So we did, and then that was cool. Then the tournament fired up. Tournament had, man, there must have been 60 people
Whoa.
in this, thereabouts. We had a full 5-player table, and we had this one dude, Fred, that was just an absolute riot. He's from Pennsylvania here. There were 2 Canucks
Nice.
there. And then I can't remember where this guy, Eric, was from. But this dude, Fred, I don't think he breathed the entire game because he was too busy talking. And it's almost like he was trying to run a hustle, but he wasn't. It was just his, you think I talk a lot? Dude, I got nothing compared to this
Wow.
cat. It was awesome. It was just hysterical the way he was trying to be all gamey, and
That's funny.
and he wasn't trying to manipulate too much. It was just the way he was.
Right.
And you could tell that the other guys at the table, especially the 2 Canadian guys, were not at all used to somebody's personality like that. And they were kind of like, what the hell?
That's funny.
And I was just busting up laughing the entire time. Told the guys, hey, I'm rusty. I haven't played. So everybody was patient. We had an absolute blast.
That's awesome.
Had a really, really good time. I ended up taking second in the
Wow.
heat. I'm sorry, third. The winner had 40 points. Eric had 37. I had 36. And then the other
Dang.
2 were in the 20s. But it was pretty funny. This guy, Eric, I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Edward, da-da-da-da. And then he turned his back. He turned to talk to one of the other guys and turned his head away. And I was talking to one of the other guys. And he was like, wait a minute. Are you Edward from Heavy Cardboard? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I didn't realize it until I wasn't looking at you
That's
and I
funny.
heard your voice.
That's funny.
I thought that was pretty funny. So we had a blast.
Good. I'm glad you had that experience after Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, definitely. It just goes to show that, yes, it's all about trying to win these tournaments, obviously, but you have people that you're not having to teach the game to.
Yeah.
Like, you sit down to play in a heat.
That's nice.
And you just play the game. Everybody has played it. Or if they haven't played it,
They just learned it.
they just learned it. So, okay, you don't have to teach the game. And now, yes, there are some alpha hardcore, my entire worth is tied up to how well I can do in this tournament, which unfortunately Carmen ran into some of that.
Yeah.
But it happens, whatever. There's always going to be those type of people that, as long as they're not negatively impacting the rest of the table,
Right.
whatever floats your boat. But ultimately, it's all about playing games, whether you're new to it and they do a demo an hour before to run you through it, which I still think it's funny. They do a demo for like Virgin Queen
Yeah, that's
an hour
insanity
before
to
the
me.
tournament. And I'm like, no.
No. No.
But yeah, it's just cool to be able to play games that people, of all different varying skill levels, and you just sit down and play the game. And if you don't do well in the tournament, hey, there's another heat or there's another event. So
Right,
go
exactly.
and have fun.
Yeah.
So while I did that,
I stayed up in the lobby and worked on getting the Matt Calkins interview done and scheduled to be posted, and then also worked on the day 3 pod blast. Got all
now
that
people
done.
should know that you're doing this to relax. Like, you're enjoying doing this, right?
Yeah. I because me being an introvert and other things, I need time alone away from a bunch of people. And so the lobby is really perfect because I can have internet access, but there's also tons of comfy chairs and
it's quiet.
And it's quiet.
Peaceful.
Yeah, it's quiet, and
You
I
can
can
be reclusive.
I can. It's fantastic.
So yeah, after that, I guess we met up after that, came down, we had some ice cream, and then that's it, and getting ready for bed. And then tomorrow honestly is a day off for us.
Yeah,
we're
really
gonna
is.
just spend an us day. So we'll record something, but it's not gonna be all about the games and all
No,
that stuff.
I don't even know
this
if we're
time.
gonna play anything tomorrow.
We'll
so,
see. Yeah. So yeah, that's day
4.
4. Right. So that is Tuesday of WBC.
Yeah, I'm so confused. I don't know what day it is.
Right. 6 Saturdays and a Sunday
Pretty
right
much.
now, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So with that, I guess we'll bid y'all adieu for a day or two, really, because tomorrow's not going to be a whole lot of much.
Right,
but
right.
you get the idea. So, all right, cool.
All right.
You ready to call it a night?
Yes.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.